Well, hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name's Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your mindset, your life, your business, your body, your health from where you are to where it is that you want to be. And today I'm really excited because I've got a very special guest here with me. And this is Elizabeth Kalabakas. How are you, Liz?
I love that, Kalabakas.
Yeah, I know, don't pronounce that right. How do you say it?
It's Kalabakas, but it's nice listening to someone try to pronounce it.
Well, I'm trying to break it down into the syllables, you know. So, Liz, let me tell you, I'll tell everybody a little bit about you. So, Liz works in the same industry that I do. So this is the first call actually we've had with somebody that's working in the same business with me in the same region as well, going through the same things right now. So Liz owns a fitness business called It's Personal. She's a metabolic precision transformation specialist. She's based in Melbourne, Australia. And today we are going to talk all things from business, mental health, physical transformation, and really the impact of on COVID. So Liz, first of all, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for asking me. I was quite excited actually.
Yeah, good. We're going to have a bit of fun.
Hey, guess what? So it's good.
So tell me, just to start with, what drove you to start a career in, transformation, fitness, health?
Okay, so basically, I think I was roughly about 21. I had sciatica and I suffered severely, and I was told that I'd have to go under the knife. So something I'd have to face. In fact, the surgeon said, if you ever want a normal sex life again, that's how he put it to me, you'll have to go under the knife because you will be in pain all your life. And
Right.
it was really a hard thing to accept at 21. And I basically was watching 60 Minutes. You know how you get those moments that everything happens for a reason,
Yeah.
and I hate saying that because it's so true. If you can just hone into that in life. So I was watching 60 Minutes and there was a guy called Kit Langland and he's in America. I knew nothing about him, but he was basically talking about backaches and how he can fix people. And you put it all down to muscle and, the muscle on one side of your body to the other side. If it's out of whack, it's your back out. And it all made sense visually to me because I'm a very visual learner. So I caught a taxi to his lectures, which back then were about $100 a lecture. And he sat there. I was one of the youngest ones there. All the others were about 50 or 60. They'd been operated. And he said to me, have you been operated? I said, no. He goes, thank God. He goes, love, I can fix you. And no kidding, the stretches he got me to do during his 3 hours lecture, I got up pain-free. And I thought, nah, this must be like a physio where you walk up and you feel really good, but the next day you're going to feel bad.
Yeah.
But he kept on, he had his own videos and things. I've never caught up with that man ever since. And I have to thank him as a mentor back then because he changed my life. And he basically, said, this is what you have to do for the rest of your life. And these are the stretches you're going to do. And I thought, no, it couldn't be that easy. But I did what I had to do. And pain-free. I actually lived pain-free from that minute onwards. And I thought, nah, I can help people. I can actually help people and not accept going under the knife. And that is what, it was all about to me. It was basically realizing that when I was at the worst part of my life, when I was told that I have to be on medication and go under the surgery and that's not a guarantee. And I was so young, I was married that young, so it was basically, no, I can't accept it. And I rebuilt myself and I want people to do that. And I get really excited about that. So
yeah, sweet.
It's a good place to be.
Yeah, nice. So how long have you been running your business now?
Well, this time around, because I have got a bit of history, because back then we had to keep up our points with Fitness Australia to keep up your qualifications. So I started young. I was basically 23 and then I got married and I had 2 failed marriages. So I did give up my career while I was in a marriage, both times, just to be a house mum. And, the house mum is a hard work job. I know that, but that was not in me. It wasn't part of my soul. It didn't feel right. I felt like I was living somebody else's life. And I think deep down I was living my parents' life. You know, Greek parents, they wanted their Greek girl to be married, and the, you know, man supplies the income and you take care of him. And I tried it. I tried it twice. It just didn't work for me that way. I was always very fidgety, loved being around people, loved exercise. You know, Dad wanted me to be a lawyer or a solicitor, you know, send me to the most expensive schools in Melbourne to do that. And it just wasn't going to happen for me. I wanted to do hair, makeup and beauty and all things beautiful with health included. And he really didn't accept that. So it was a bit of a disappointment to Dad. School reports weren't very good. So so I never really got a good birthday present. Every June holiday, school holiday, I remember thinking, damn it, it's always falling on report day. So yeah, I did end up being a disappointment. The disappointment was 2 failed marriages, and so, you know, stopping business, stopping business, and now this time around, business has been going for 13 years.
Okay.
So we got 2 failed marriages, and then Dad sort of, and Mum and my sister decided that they're not going to be part of my life. So I ended up losing a family too, because it wasn't the thing you do. You don't divorce twice. You just you don't become a single mum of 3 children. And
right. Well,
I was left to my own means, which is probably really something that got me to toughen up and actually even be better than what I ever was. You know, I had something to really, you know, work towards. I knew what I wanted, and I knew everything that was stopping me before, and nothing was going to stop me this time. You know, I needed to do that. And one of the best things that I remember actually happened to me is somebody, and I can't name who, but said to me, "You're nothing but a fat wog with thunder thighs and big R's," you know, and that was pretty harsh back then. And
it's harsh now, Liz.
Oh, mate. Oh, it was really harsh because, you know, I didn't feel confident after having 3 children. And I thought, wow, you know, that's so personal. So that became my name, It's Personal. Yeah. So that's why it's personal. Nothing to do with the body. It's personal. It was more like what was said to me was so personal that I named it It's Personal. And I thought, no, I am going to be the best version of myself, because I loved who I was as a human being. I just couldn't be me. You know, I'm always sort of told to stop laughing, stop giggling, stop talking too much, stop smiling, stop, you know, I had to be more serious than what I was. And, you know, I'm not that person. I love being around people. I love giving myself to everybody, and I love what I do, and helping people, you know. That's who I am inside my soul. So I know that.
Yeah, no, good on you, because I think so many women are pigeonholed, and I guess you were pigeonholed by your family as to the way that they're like placing their expectations on you without, I suppose, giving you space to say, well, actually, that's not what I want. And them accepting that. That's heartbreaking that would happen. But I think even in today's society, because most of my clients are women, I see it as much as we like to think that we have grown as society, women are still the ones that have most of the load at home, whether it's, you know, cooking the meals, whether it's cleaning, whether it's paying the bills, whether it's looking after the kids, whether it's looking after the kids' homework, whether it's the, you know, psychological needs of the kids, psychological needs of the partners, because men are hopeless. You know, all of that stuff, so much is placed on women. And a lot of men, I don't think, give women credit for that, or partners, for the fact that so much is taken on by women. And yet there's this seemingly glass ceiling that's put on in the corporate world that stops women from, you know, getting to as high as men are.
That's right. And I feel like after the 2 breakups and I was left with no career, I had to go back to school, you know, and the fairness was really unfair, but it was what it was. And I had to just concentrate on what I needed to do. Now I let go of a career, and now I had to rebuild a career again. And back then, as I said, at Fitness Australia, you needed to keep up your points, to keep up your qualifications. I don't think it's like that anymore, but thank God I met another great mentor, which is Harper's, you know, Craig Harper. he basically back then had gyms that he was training people to be personal trainers. And again, I went, to do his course, and I had kids, 3 children. I went to school. I did waitressing, Centrelink payments, because it wasn't going to be enough for a single mum with 3 kids without a career.
Yeah.
And finally got out, had my career, and I felt so much better because I could give up the waitressing job. I was always working around the kids. Waitressing was something I did on the weekends that they were with their dad, so I could actually make more money doing that. Had to pick up the kids from school, drop off the kids. You know how it is, cooking, cleaning, going to school, trying to keep up a job. Being on Centrelink was really hard, Couldn't afford camps, couldn't afford presents, just didn't want to be invited to a birthday because that meant having money, and like a gift.
Yeah.
I remember those little things, and I did it though. I can actually always go back to that. Like, it's something like, even now with COVID, it didn't scare me, because I have been in places where I've taken myself out and I can rely on me.
Yeah.
So nothing really scares me. I know that I've got the ability to take myself out of anything, and I do know there's reason for everything. I know us women, we do get hit hard, but it makes you goddamn strong. And when you come out of it, you think, God, I'm really tough. And I love the fact that you could be such a great example to kids. You need to see you not wallow and feel sorry for yourself and think this.
Oh, it's not all cruisy all the time. Life isn't a cruise. It's
not at all.
a challenge.
No, they don't, and it's not cruisy, and they see that. And if they see me not falling apart, what a great, to me, that's all that makes me not fall apart. I just look at them and I think, well, change needs to happen. I'll change, I'll do what I have to do for the next step. But there's always a reason for it. Now, if I go back to my past, everything that happened to me, whether it was the failed marriages, whether the school, going back to school, there was a reason why everything happened, I had to go through these processes to get to where I'm right now. And I always say, if I had to go through all that pain to be right here, to be such a stronger woman than what my mum was, compared to me, I totally
do
would
it again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love seeing that because, well, you can relate to this. A lot of people can't, but like when you're doing, I say like doing a bicep curl or something like that, you can't just go into the gym one time and do one set of bicep curls and expect that you're going to have great shaped arms forever. And the only way to get the change in the arm is you have to hurt yourself. Like, it has to hurt. You have to, put that pain. And most people, I don't know, we work on the number of 10, say. Most people don't want to do the 10th, but they certainly don't want to do the 11th, 12th or 13th one, doing more that's required. But this is so much like our mindset as well. Unless we continue to put ourselves in pain, that emotional pain, and then build through it, you don't become emotionally stronger. And unfortunately, you've been put through the ringer, but the end product of that is a very resilient person.
Yeah, that's right. And it's funny how you say, some of the things you say resonate with me because, originally when ISO happened, I think that I just couldn't believe it, how everyone else couldn't believe it. And I went on a downer maybe for a couple of hours because I had people like, needing me and wanting me to succeed and didn't let me fall. And I don't think I'm allowed to, actually, I've got too much backup behind me to allow me to fall. And, you even know Paul Cribb, who, he's one of my great mentors. In actual fact, I think he's the one that changed my whole life because he had structure that basically showed you, this is what you've got to do to get to this point. This is what you've got to do to get to this point. So, each point I had to get to, I always told my clients, this is what I'm working towards now. That's my accountability. My clients are my accountability. Yeah. This is what I'm doing next. This is what I'm doing next. And I need to get to level 5, you know? And they made that happen for me. Altogether, they actually made it happening. They were happy to do things like go on direct debits, and, you know, they were just knowing that that's the next step to becoming more successful business. You know, so that was a great course for me, and that's another mentor that I had to sort of say that helped me think, wow, you know, am I capable of this? This is amazing. I've never saw that personal training and fitness and the way he was teaching it to me. It was verbal, it made sense, and it just, the structure was great. So I didn't have to think about those things. He actually came into my life accidentally, you know.
Yeah.
He basically, it was basically someone else's transformation that I looked at, and then I went, you know, wow, I really like that. This person is eating lots and losing weight, you know.
Yeah.
How are they doing that? And because as I got older, I was actually exercising more and more and more and gaining more weight. And I thought, what's going on?
Why is
I'm
it
eating
happening?
less,
Yeah.
I'm exercising more. So poor crib, I don't know, you know, the metabolic precision course actually taught me that you need to build muscle. And that's something you never get educated at school when you're doing your certificates.
No,
you know,
they just show you how to do
know
the
how to
exercises.
train, as you said, the bicep curl, you know how to do all this, but ultimately if you're not eating right, guess what, even that's not going to change.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you have to put yourself through educating yourself and meeting the right mentors in life to get to the next step in life, depending on where you're at. So I found that these people came into my life. So when I met Paul Crew, just to tell you what happened, I didn't know how to use a computer to pay for his course. So I had to actually
you gave him a wad of cash?
Yeah, no, I asked somebody at work, can you message this man and ask him to ring me so I can pay with my credit card, because I don't know how to do it. So they did, and he did. He got me on the phone, and that was my new venture to learning how to use computers. I bought my first computer and then had...
And look at you now, you're on Zoom and everything.
I know, I'm just so excited. But yeah, like, you know, when you're down, you have to sort of sometimes fake it a little bit for a little while. It could be a day you're faking and you're just pretending and going through the motions of being, you know, just cleaning your car, washing, you know, just go through the motions, and the next day you'll snap out of it. You don't have to be in this downer, you know, just understand life is like that.
I think a lot of the time it's about just interrupting the pattern, isn't it? Because I talk to people about these downward spirals, and one behavior leads to another behavior, which leads to, you know, like no exercise leads to less energy, which leads to poorer food choices, which leads to more tiredness, which leads to more poor food choices, and you just keep going down and down. But if you can break the cycle somewhere, interrupt that pattern and replace it with something else, then you'll find that all of a sudden, well, actually, I don't feel like that now. I feel like doing this. And you start to get more energy. So, oh, well, geez, I'm now start to feel like doing more. So you do more, and you start to eat better because you're doing more. And so the reverse is true too, of going up. So
it's like nutrition, I suppose. That's what you teach people with nutrition, that, you know, when you make that one mistake, you know, you've eaten, let's just say you've eaten meat pies and sausage rolls, which I haven't had for years, but let's say
me either.
It doesn't give you permission to go and do that the next meal and the next meal.
Yeah, that's right.
And as you become better at eating healthy for the next meal, the more you actually start eating healthier. So if you can get out of that little loop of, okay, I've made the mistake, now I'll start Monday.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you can do. So if you make a mistake and then you think, okay, I made it, own it, don't hide it, own it. And then next meal, make sure your next meal is good.
Yeah.
You know, and eventually what happens is you'll make another mistake, maybe the same day. But if you've had 3 good meals and then 1 shitty meal, or, you know, 2 shitty meals, guess what? In a year's time, you'll probably have a good week. And you think, God, I've come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm at now. You know, it didn't take me overnight to get rid of Diet Coke, and because I'm a fitness instructor, you know, I used to have Diet Coke, and I used to have porridge every morning, and I used to think these things were really healthy for my age. And, you know, I know now know more. I educated myself, and it doesn't take much effort anymore, you know, to
that's right.
stay stable. And it was through going to the right people and learning that.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask you towards the end, but we can maybe talk about it now. I mean, just to put some of this into the context for maybe people that are listening to this for the first time. So Paul Cribb, Dr. Paul Cribb, he's the metabolic precision coach. He's my personal strength and conditioning coach. And he's actually how you and I are talking now. That's how we met, through that network.
Yeah.
And so for me, I have a number of different coaches through the different things that I do in my life. And coaching to me has been the ticket to take me from where I want to be, where I am, to where I want to be, and to get there in the fastest possible way. And I liken it to, if it's most of the people that I'm working with are weight loss people, there's so much material out there that you can go and learn to do this yourself. But if you want to know a guaranteed way to optimize your health and do it in a safe, sustainable way forever, then go to the right coach and they'll get you there in the fastest possible way for you, where you could take years around, trying to do it. So tell me, what's the impact that the coaching has had for you?
Paul Cribb, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, Paul, any others that you've had?
Okay, so the Kit Langland from America was my basically rehab coach. Then I had Craig Harper, which is my personal trainer, to get my certificates. And then I had Paul Cribb, which was my business training. He covered nutrition. He covered all avenues for me, So it was basically, I think that was it. Then that was enough. After that, it was like I was overwhelmed with clientele. I changed myself. I changed clients. I had results. It was a result-driven gym after that.
Yeah.
Then I realized that I needed media, Instagram, websites, stuff that I'm no good at. so I sourced that stuff out. I sourced other people to do that for me. So I've got media people, I've got Insta, organising my Insta, my Facebook, and a copywriter for anything to do with myself or writing about me. I don't sit there spending time on that, but I do get interviewed, and then the copywriter writes all about everything I've just spoken about in little chapters, and I'm able to put that up. But it is from me. It's just that I spend more time with my clients. I love concentrating on their mental health because that's really important at the moment.
Yeah.
Very important, their mental health, nutrition, where they're at. And there's a lot of elements to that. You really got to know your client, home life, have they got any negatives there, where their headspace is, how you can snap them back in. There's so much going on with that. I haven't got time for media things. So I basically handballed all that out to other people because I know why I'm in the field I'm in, and I know why I didn't go well at school. So I'm not going to pretend now that, all of a sudden I love writing. I love, paperwork. I don't. So I haven't changed in that aspect at all. So
sure.
I can't do. I handball that in work to others, and I pay others to do that, so I can be the best possible person to my clients.
So tell me, with COVID, obviously we could talk for 2 hours about all the negative consequences of COVID and how we feel like the state is being run as a result of those. I talk about that in my podcast quite a bit. Let's talk about the opportunities for you that have come out of COVID. What's come out of COVID that has, been a great, something that's great for you that perhaps wouldn't have otherwise happened?
One of the things is a really good one. I got to see my kids have grown up. I'm home now, so something that I've missed out on a lot because I have spent a lot of time working. I do love what I do. So basically I thought, my kids are grown up. They've just got their license, all of them. But besides that, it's given me the opportunity now to get into this virtual life. Look at us. We're Zooming, originally I didn't even know.
So did you do that at all before? No.
Absolutely not at all. I might have done, with Paul Cribb, but someone else set me up to do it. It wasn't something I was doing for myself.
Yeah.
but all of a sudden, again, I seeked help from my clients, and all of them, they jump on, they help me. Like they're like and their own little BNI group, if you know what BNI
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
They all come to my rescue when it comes to whatever I need. They know my weaknesses, and they know paperwork is my weakness and technology. So they sat down and actually taught me how to do it. And yeah, all of a sudden I'm tech savvy and I know how to attach things and email things and communicate via email now. And I'm actually thinking, this is easy. It's not as hard
Yeah.
as what it looked. Now I'm really playing with it a little bit more. When I get lost, I don't go, hey, Helena! So used to screaming for my children, or I had a client sit next to me, my first Zoom classes, just to make sure if I press the wrong thing, you can
Yeah, you didn't
help
stop at
me.
all.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's really cool, but it has given me an opportunity that I never noticed before, and I'm going to use it and I'm going to keep it. One thing I noticed is right now when kids are sick, mums can't make the excuse anymore that our kids are sick, I can't come in, and I love that. So I'm actually now, using Zoom as a fitness class, and then I tape it, and then I put it down in I actually download it in my page, and then my clients can do that particular class if they missed out on it when they're ready to do it at their own time. And when they do it, they usually write a message underneath telling me they've done it,
Yeah,
But
nice.
I do talk to them during the class to make sure that they have to answer a question of some sort.
Yes.
So I keep an eye on who's doing it, who isn't.
Yeah.
And there's other things like, my gym couldn't be open morning and night. So now at least I've got this this way of an income stream that I never thought of before,
Yes.
Talking about people that used to say, look, I can't come at 5:30 in the morning, and I certainly can't come at 6 o'clock in the evening. So now there's an income stream that I never thought I'd have before, where they don't have to be there that time slot. They can do the workout whatever time slot they want. So how huge is that? And then you can get anyone from all over the world to join you, It doesn't have to be in Melbourne or just living around the corner from you, which was exactly why I liked the MP nutrition course, because we were allowed to put anyone on it that was around the world. They didn't have to be right in front of you in your community. You can actually have anyone learn nutrition through you, and they don't have to be in front of you. So that was another thing that was great back then, and I had to do that. But in this way, another thing I love about it is if I use it also for fire. So if there was a stage there where we opened, remember, and then we closed after 2 weeks.
2.5 weeks or something.
So in that stage where we opened, what I did with the Zoom is I actually was taking my PT group, right? And if someone was missing, what they'd say is, Elizabeth, I'm not going to make it. And then I'd open them up on, and they could actually join me at that time slot with my PT group. So they didn't feel as if they were missing out. They didn't.
They just weren't physically
in the same group of people they were used to training with, but they would train from home. So they would be given body weight exercises. And the reason I love that is the biggest thing that happens is once you actually give yourself an excuse to sleep in one morning, you usually find that you're going to give yourself an excuse, and it's a loop that starts.
It's one of those habits.
And I find that as a personal trainer, once someone doesn't turn up, you've got to be onto them all the time, because now they've given themselves permission not to come. And that's when they normally start dropping off. So it was a cool way of saying, what's wrong? My child's sick, or, whatever the reason is. Now you're okay, well, join us through Zoom. You can just be with us. So they still have to wake up. They still have to be there, and they're still training. They might not be doing much because it's obviously body weight, and it's not fitness this time. It's weight training. So they need weights, but they can modify using things in the house, like their chair as a stepper or whatever. I speak to them before the session and make them aware what they can do, and they think, might as well turn up. All this effort, we might as well turn up. So at least I haven't stopped the loop, loop of them not once they don't turn up, you sort of start losing your clients, because I don't know what their headspace becomes negative, and I didn't turn up and nothing happened anyway. I can do that next week. I look pretty good. And they start realizing long term they're losing muscle, and then again they're starting to gain fat, and the cycle happens all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it for that reason. Um, I don't know, at the moment with COVID, because you're only supposed to have so many people in your studio, then it was great because I could actually open this class to anyone to join through Zoom. And I actually can see the opportunity lasting for me. I'm going to keep it. So
yeah, so same with me. I think there are like services that if COVID didn't come and I tried to sell it to people, they'd be like, are you crazy? Why would I want to do that?
exactly.
But like I've got people where I do a PT session. Well, I just put this in perspective for those that are listening. So in Melbourne, Australia here, we are completely locked down. We're not allowed to, or from today, we're allowed out twice a day for up to an hour each.
On the playground too. We can play in playgrounds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But we're still not allowed to train people outdoors, and we're not allowed to have people in our facilities. So we have to do it all streaming. So I've got people with a weight set up in their garage, and I'm just doing a PT session, charging them the same amount, doing a PT session. Actually, I was doing one with the guy on Saturday, and he's about to move. But he's already said that he's going to continue on doing from his garage wherever he moves, because you can do it anywhere. I've picked up people interstate in Brisbane. It doesn't matter where people are. And if they can't make it, they're loving the fact that they can do it at home. But try to do that pre-COVID, I reckon I would have had no chance. Yeah, but people have been conditioned to it.
Yeah, and I think that even myself, I think that I was negative towards that. I used to think, nah, how can you possibly train on Zoom? But then when I started doing it, again, through experience, I did it with Paul Cribb. He started training me on Zoom and training me through fitness classes, and I went, oh, wow, I've got to work out of that. So I saw, you have to experience what you're dishing out. You have to experience it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
There's plenty of opportunities here, and sometimes it's great because you can play a few games with everyone and make it a competition, and they go for it, even if it's on the computer. But the personalities of human beings, they still come out on the computer. I can see the ones that are quiet on the computer, see the ones that dodge me on the computer, and they haven't changed. It's quite funny how people are. But something that always keeps me going is successful people do what others aren't willing to do. And if I look into my community itself, the successful people are doing what others aren't willing to do. That's right. And I find that successful people are time managers. They definitely have things structured, and as soon as you get someone lost with, no, I can't do this, or that doesn't fit in this, that, okay, this person, once they move away from this, they're going to start being more and more successful. If their headspace can just change to the only way things will change, if you realize you've got to do things that people aren't willing to do to get somewhere in life. Otherwise, you're like everyone else. So if I fell apart while this epidemic, happened, it's no, I don't know. It's not in my DNA. And who told me that little thing? Successful people do what others aren't willing to do. Paul Cribb. So this man changed my life. He really did. He basically was like a dad figure to me, even though I'm older than him. So he told me things that I didn't know. I mean, we're talking about a person that hasn't got a mum, dad, relative, a friend that owned a business. No one that I could ask help from. And all of a sudden, this Paul Cribb man that I contacted taught me all of the elements of that. So, and the thing that kept pushing me was, that little saying. Every time I didn't want to get out of bed, successful people do what others aren't willing to do. And now I actually give that saying to every child I meet that I train. Every time they say, oh, this is too hard, I tell them. And I tell you what, I've seen some great successes with them too. They grow up with me, because I've obviously been a trainer for many years. and I might get them at 15, and now they're like 21, 22, 23, and they are succeeding in life. And one thing I realized, because they're so structured, they turn up, they work out, they know what they want, they do what they have to do to get there. I didn't meet them that way. They changed eventually and became that way. And their career, their life, their love life, everything else is working for them, you know?
Yeah.
And I get to see that. And I think I've impacted a lot of people like that. And it's a really good feeling. It's a great feeling.
One of the things I love about health and fitness and transforming somebody, if you can transform your body, your health, and so forth, and you do it in a way that you're optimizing your health, you're sustaining it forever, then your mindset has changed. You have changed, and your approach to life will therefore change. So you can adopt the transformation that you've had in you to any area of your life, I believe, whether it's relationships, whether it's finances, your career, whatever. It's just that you're not doing it. You know, you're not doing the work. If you're not getting the results that you want, you're not doing the work. You're not doing it the right way. You're not doing it smarter. So yeah, I love what you say there. It's really, really powerful.
And the other one that I thought was really positive is what I've been like. I just so frustrated, you know. People are buying cars and houses and doing their nails and, you know, like all these things, you know, going on holidays, and they're like, but I haven't got money, you know, to take care of my health.
Yeah.
I'm just so frustrated. It's just something that I just grinds in me, you know, that their health is put aside. But now with COVID, oh mate, the people are looking at that. They're now thinking that, am I COVID ready next time? Is my immune system really ready to take on the next virus? Because you know what? I wasn't scared of it. I just didn't. I was like nothing, you know. I didn't have any underlying issues that I knew about, which is great, you know. If I did, maybe then I would have taken a different approach. But I know that I've worked on my health and fitness. I know that my immune system is amazing, and I wasn't scared at all.
Yeah.
I'm ready for any of it. Now, there's some people out there that really have to question that now, because this is going to go away. Eventually, something else is going to come up. Doesn't scare me.
Yeah, that's right.
I certainly don't think I should be scared of my kids, because my kids have got my lifestyle. So, and I'm sure that they'll bring up their children the same way. So I think that now is when you really have to say to yourself, am I COVID ready? Like, really? Am I? So I might be driving a nice car, I might even have a beautiful house, might fix my nails. But what's all that if you haven't got your health?
Yeah, that's right. You could be all gone tomorrow.
Yeah, so we discovered that now, haven't we? People's businesses and everything's gone down, but their health, you know, they were really scared. Some people weren't leaving the houses because they're so scared. You know, they know that their immune system isn't any good. You know, and that's a scary thing. So I think that people will start concentrating on that. You've got a duty of care as a parent. That's your duty of care. Grow up with children knowing that's your job, to grow up your kids being a role model and showing them what health, sleeping, fitness, strength, why you do all that. It's not to look sexy. It's basically because you want to build your immune system. You have to have muscle. You have to have a better immune system. Eat healthy, you know, live life. Know what it's like to have energy. You know, people getting out of bed, they're tired before they're even up, you know. You should be buzzing with energy, and you shouldn't be coffee that gives you that.
Yeah, that's right. So you did mention then that it's not about being sexy. I just wanted to say that I dispute that, given that I've just written a book all about awakening the sexy within. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I think when you wrote, it's not about the sexy you're talking about, though. It's different. Loving yourself, yeah.
It's looking at external sexy as well as obviously getting the internal sexy, and health, and being healthy is being sexy.
And sexy is confidence.
Well, this is the thing. It's confidence to you, but it may not be for someone else. It could be something different. So it's about coming up with how you define yourself.
That's true. But yeah, so sexy is obviously, like you said, you know, you define the way you are. But for me, when I use sexy, it's not just about a sexy body for me. it's much more than that. You know, that's the benefits of what I said.
Mm.
So if you do all those things, you will end up having a sexy body. Yes.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
that's not why you do them. You know, you do them so you can be healthy, so you can feel good, so you can function well. Sexy is just the end result, and you'll get there. You know, that sexiness, yeah, will happen.
Mm.
And so definitely you need to feel all the rest of it, functioning, feeling, and looking good. You know, you could be sexy and overtrained and underate.
Yeah, that's right.
But do you feel good? Are you functioning well? No. You know what I mean? So that's not sexy either. So that's what I'm saying. It's about finding, you know, that proper coach, that person that knows what they're talking about, that will teach you what that feels like.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, to help you achieve what it is that you want to achieve.
That's right.
I want to talk to you about mental health. Obviously, our mental health has been taking a real hit with COVID, and with 67% of Australians being overweight or obese, and I think they estimate that something like 45% of us will have a mental health illness at some stage in our life. We know that COVID has had a really bad impact on some people. Suicide rates have gone up and all that kind of stuff. Tell me, what do you think is the biggest problem right now with mental health?
The biggest problem with mental health, look, getting shut down, obviously 23 hours of a 24-hour day for 1 hour exercise, not seeing friends, not interacting with people, not knowing, you know, we don't know, you know, financially what's going to happen, all the scare tactics in the media, just scaring the shit out of us all the time. It's scaring some people, you know. I don't feel that way about myself. Like I'm pretty strong, so I don't know. I haven't really, I just want to be around my people. That's all I miss. I miss all my community. I just want to be back. It hasn't affected me or my children. I said, I don't know why it hasn't affected them. But maybe they're a bit like me. They don't really show as, you know, like a downer. They know it's just part of life we're going through at the moment and we'll get out of it. But around my clientele that I have seen it, I've seen their mental health being really affected. It's not being able to go out, you know, not being able to socialise, not, you know, they're, I don't know, not moving as much. I suppose they might not be eating as healthy, some of them, making poor choices, you know. You can always see someone's mental health go down. One, you see the little signs, you know, the house will be in a mess, the car will be in a mess.
Yeah.
Dishes will be in
You
a
can
mess.
see, it's amazing what you can see through that Zoom camera, isn't it?
Oh, I see it. Don't you worry about that. And then I do know what's happening through that Zoom camera. And you will normally see that when their health is better is when they're cleaning up their health. I haven't got the answer for it. I do know that you just have to take control of what you can take control of. Make it a better environment for yourself, you know.
Which is really up here, isn't it? Because we can't, and it doesn't make sense that they've stopped us being able to, go to gyms and do all that sort of stuff. They've restricted the exercise that we can do when it's...
But we can do we can get our cats groomed.
Yeah. But it's so important.
Dogs. We can't groom ourselves, you know.
Yeah. It's such an important element of our own mental health to be able to do those things. But yeah, I think we've got to be focusing on the things that we can control.
Yeah, I think like if we go back to that, like cancellers can cancel, you know, I understand the importance of that, but I'm like a canceller. I'll stand 1.5 meters away and I'll stand there and I'll watch someone doing a personal training session and I'll cancel them through it too. And I think the fitness industry is just as important as a counsellor is. Because, you know,
if not more so, because you get the natural endorphin release from physically moving and doing that exercise.
It's like an antidepressant tablet. It's equivalent to it. So yeah, it's really important.
And it's natural.
my clients' mental health have been struggling, and there is some, like I said to you, some of them are just the people that are those, successful people do what others aren't willing to do type of people, and they just do what they have to do. All of a sudden I said, we closed down, who wants to go on Zoom? Bang, they all, went on Zoom, and the ones that didn't, they're struggling.
Yeah.
They're struggling. The ones that did.
I see that too.
Yeah, the ones that did aren't.
They're doing well, yeah. It's just now, it's just part of the routine for them.
Yeah. I'd hate to be in a situation of having kids at home now and educating them. My head goes out to that. I don't know how people are doing that.
Yeah, especially with young kids. I've got clients that have got young kids as well as young kids that have got learning disabilities, and
yes.
It's like really challenging for them. They're completely spent by the end of the day, and I get that. They got to sit with them for 6 hours, every single word, going through and
but you know what? I'm trying to explain to them, give yourself that 1 hour, of exercise. Try to cook healthy, for the whole family, because that's what it's supposed to be, not just for you.
Yeah.
See the difference. Give yourself 1 week chance to do that. And if you can't tell me by the end of the week that was a better week for you, I don't believe it. Like I know that that's all it takes, and it becomes a better week, because now you're feeling better about where you're at. You've taken control of a situation rather than let the situation take control of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
gotcha. Hey, I just wanted to ask you a couple more questions before we finish up. Tell us, what does a typical day of food and exercise look like for you?
Okay, so a typical day for me, are you talking about all my food? Is that what you want to know?
Yeah.
All right, so basically, do you want me to name the foods or just...
Yeah, why not? Why not?
All right, I could probably do that. All right, so I might have an omelette in the morning, and
egg white, I'm assuming.
Of course, yeah, egg whites. So there's a lot of people don't even know that exists, egg whites in cartons.
No, I know.
I love telling people these things,
So what? What's that?
Yeah, I know. And my next meal might be, I like to have salmon. I do that every day. So a salmon with veggies, lots of colourful type of veggies and some pumpkin. And then I might do a workout roughly lunchtime. I have my pre-shake before my workout and a little bit of a Powerade as a nice little hit to do those big bursts of energy things. And then I'll have my aftershake, and then within an hour after that I'll have a meal, usually with a high energy carb in it. So my choice of high energy carbs these days is my black rice instead of white rice. I love the texture and the taste of it, and so I have that with maybe some chicken, right? And so my meal cooking, something delicious, where like a meatloaf or a chili con carne or a roast, that's all for the evening. So I've got that ready for the evening with my kids. So they see, they look forward to coming home like we used to when we used to come home to our mum's cooking. So then in the afternoon, I might have another meal, which might be meatballs and veggies.
Yeah.
And then I'll have dinner with the kids, which is my something special that I cook. It could be a meatloaf. It might be a roast of some sort of lamb roast. It could be, what else? Chili con carnes and lots of Shah's cooking. So I go into her book and I cook lots of those meals that she's got in her cookbook. So the kids even cook her meals now. So they're instructed to take her book up the road and buy the ingredients and come back and cook for the family, a chow mein, stuff like that. So, and then after that, late in the evening, I might have a yogurt with some blueberries and strawberries.
Yeah, okay. So people will be listening to this and saying, oh my God, you must be so overweight eating that much food. But explain why. I mean, I know the reason, but explain why that's the case. So you're probably having 6 meals a day, 8 when you're doing a workout.
That's right. But it didn't start like that. I wasn't having 6 meals straight away. I basically weed myself into it because I was like everyone else, under eating overtraining.
Over
I
exercising.
learned, I think, to eat 1,500 calories,
Mm-hmm.
burn 800. So you can imagine how moody I was as a mother. I was so moody. I was so shitty. I was overtraining, under eating. That's what I learned at school, you know, before I met Paul. So that's what I did. And I thought, what's going on? I'm gaining weight. But the reason why I eat the way I eat, going to that, is because what happened is eventually, though, you get to 6 meals. So you don't do that straight away. You don't do your pre, post this. That's just a formula that happens by the end of it, because my metabolism had so many shifts. So every time my metabolism, think of your organs as muscles, yeah? And you're exercising them. As those organs get faster and bigger muscles, they're working more efficiently. So they're going to want more food, yeah? So then every time that happened, I realised I was getting hungrier, so then I added an extra meal in there. You know, and an extra meal. You will feel your metabolic shift happening because you're nibblish. You know, I always call those nibbly feeling, little fat eaters eating your fat away.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a good way of
really,
describing it. I think people get blown away when I tell them how much like plant-based food I eat, and I said, and the volume of food that I eat, and they say, "How do you look like that when you're eating that?"
Yeah. You didn't do that straight away. You did it as you were getting hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. You know, you have to sort of make sure that you keep those sugar levels up, and you need to feed that muscle. It needs to be fed to grow. And the more muscle you have, guess what? The more fat you burn. This is the best explanation, right? Because I'm a visual learner. So for everyone out there, think of it like this. You know how you get a V12 engine, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it burns lots of fuel. You're going to put more petrol in that V12, aren't you? Or V8, for example. Yeah? You're going to put much more fuel into that. It's going to burn much more fuel than a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I have got a V12 engine in my body that's burning so much fuel that I need to eat regularly and more often.
Yeah.
Because I burn it, you know, it's my body. And I'm not naturally skinny. I am the voluptuous Greek girl, you know, that was once told nothing but a fat wog with 100,000 big ass. So I actually, you know, am not that girl. I actually am my size, I'm slim now. I'm got great metabolism, and if I didn't eat the way I did in one weekend, I'd probably gain 3 kilos by the Monday, I reckon.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't eat as well as I do.
Yeah.
But I eat regularly. I eat a lot, and I wasn't that girl before. It took me a long time because originally when I started adding food, like I was told, I was like, oh my God, this is scary. I'm bloating, this and that. But I took it back a little bit, so I did it slowly. I didn't do it all together. You know, I did everything slowly. I got a chance for my metabolism to work better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
Till now, it's really efficient for a 53-year-old girl. I'm telling you, I'm not that skinny girl that just has it easy and can eat whatever and I stay skinny. I'm that girl.
You work at it.
And have the wrong meal. Don't want to put on weight.
Mm.
You know?
But what's great is that you can control it. You can control what it is that you do. And it's like, this is the thing that people don't look at their health this way. Like if you're running your own business, it's easy to relate to this. But if you want to get a better bottom line, then you've got to focus on it. Yeah. If you want a better bottom, then you've got to focus on it. You know, you've got
the squat more.
Yeah, that's right. You've just got to put as much
you've got
attention.
To eat right too. You can't. You know, it's not about just training. You've got to eat right. You actually have to eat right to get.
Well, most people will, either they'll go into the gym and they'll do the training, but they won't follow it up with the right nutrition. So they never get the right outcome.
That was me all my life until 44. And then all of a sudden I was like, something's wrong, you know, and that's when I met Paul Greb, you know, about that age.
And you don't know what you don't know. So people know that, if I want to get bigger, I'll go to the gym because I see guys coming and going and the shop at the front sells supplements. So I better get some of that.
All these things, you know, we're pissing out gold these days, you know, it's just.
But they don't, get the fundamentals right.
That's right. you know, and you know, what's wrong with having a zucchini spaghetti, you know, instead of the real spaghetti? You know, what's wrong with, you know, teaching that kids these sort of things? Like, you know, they can have their spaghetti and you have your zucchini spaghetti, you know. It's great for them to see that, hey, mum's got this option available for her. So when they get older, they know their options.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not going to always have pasta on your dish, you know, as you get older. It's going to change to zucchini pasta and, you know, black rice, and, you know, you can make beautiful, delicious meals. You know, with any meal you give me, I mean, I can change it to be a healthy meal.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I don't believe in giving you a diet. You know, this is ridiculous. You know, this is why I love this MP world. Because it was basically looking at your meals, whatever Greek cuisine I had, and changing that. You know, if it was a lasagna, changing it, you know, into pumpkin slices and eggplant instead of pasta. Now, I didn't know that. I mean, it's so simple, isn't it? I didn't know you could do that.
But if you don't know it, you don't think about it.
Yeah, until I did the MP course, and then I realized, wow, you know, I didn't know that you can have fish for breakfast. Yuck! But guess what? You know, it's the Aussies. You know, it's Australia that's got the biggest obesity. You know, what is it? 50%? Is it now? How much is it?
67.
67.
Well, that's overweight and obesity together.
Overweight. So now they're saying, you know, research says this and research says this, and depression. And well, come and ask me. I only live in Ferntree Gully and I won't even research it. I can tell you depression has come from, you know, can be from being overweight. And you don't have to do that much research.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You just feel it through your body.
Yeah, spend that money on maybe grabbing kids from primary school age and making them more active, making it a compulsory active, you know, thing, you know, that they do something in the mornings before they start school. How great is that, you know?
Yeah.
Intervention at school level where even the parents can come in. I've done that. I've gone to school to teach parents and children how to cook.
Yeah,
and
good.
we found that the children were excited, the parents weren't participating, so therefore the project failed. But then when I actually had a parent and children join the gym, and the parent was willing to change, the child changed and the parent changed. And
it's got to come from the leadership, the top down.
Yeah. So, you know, I've tried the interventions at school, but again, you can't force people to do anything. They've got to want it. And I don't know, to me, it's my normal. I can't imagine life not like this.
Yeah, without it. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Hey, Liz, final question. Your number one tip to help people grow their mental toughness. You've said it a number of times. It's the one that I'm thinking of, but maybe you've got another one.
You're talking about the one like successful people do what others aren't, you know, aren't willing to do. Think about that. Think about every successful person you know. And haven't you ever said to them, oh, God, I don't think I could do that. You know, the only difference of where you can't do it is because you're not doing it. It's not because you're not capable of it. You're not choosing to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
The difference. And have a look. I mean, I can name so many people that, you know, you look at and you think, wow, check out their lives. And the reason they're in that situation, yeah, fair enough. Sometimes it's you're lucky. People can, you know, you might have got there because it's handed to you, you know. I understand that. But there is a lot of people that have started from scratch and they've become very successful. And the reason is because they live it and breathe it. They don't turn around and say, oh, no, I'm available between 9 and 5 and I work after that and I don't work before that. And
don't work on the weekends. And
because, no, all these people are working, but they're working on something they love.
That's right. That's right. Nicely said. Hey, Liz, thank you so much for today. I'm just conscious of your time. I want to be respectful of that. And the people listening too, we've been going for about an hour now. So I know we could keep talking on and on about many different topics in this space, but I want to thank you so much for giving up your time today. I've loved speaking with you, and I'm sure we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, everyone. Bye.